Welcome to Galazeth Prismari. As far as our opening hand goes, yeah, we'll keep on this one. I like it. We only have one land. It's going to enter the battlefield tap, but at least have Island Mountain. We've got Soul Ring into Thought Vessel, which will definitely turn us on to some pretty quick mana, which I'm pretty happy with. So, all right, opponent's going to go for Argrim's Astrolabe. So we'll see what this this build of Reaper King is. If we got some 5-color snow, I think that'd be kind of fun. The only thing we're really looking for next turn is if we just hit an untapped land, that would be awesome. All right, so we can definitely take that. So let's lead off with a Volatile, and then anything else. We're going to go and pass the turn over to our opponent. We're playing Galazeth Prismari. Flying, whenever Galazeth enters the battlefield, create a treasure token. Then artifacts you control have tap. Add 1 mana of any color. Spend this mana only to cast an instant or sorcery spell. Playing against the Reaper King. And that's a quick pass of the turn. All right, so we do not hit another land. I'm okay with going for this, so let's tap down. Let's go for Soul Ring. If they counter this, okay, we get it through. So let's tap down Soul Ring. Let's go for Thought Vessel, and that'll put us on perfectly for Chemister's Insight. So anything else, pass it back over to our opponent. Playing against the Reaper King himself, the Scarecrow. Other Scarecrow creatures you control get +1/+1. Then whenever another Scarecrow enters the battlefield under your control, destroy target permanent. Now, we do have a couple different counter spells in the hand. We probably do want to stop the Reaper King, because this might end up being Snow Changeling or something like that, or at least some sort of Changeling Scarecrow style deck. But getting to that second blue mana will definitely help us out. And it's also really good that we do have Chemister's Insight. And once we do hit that second blue source, that's going to put us online, hopefully, for a pretty nice pull from tomorrow. And then we can kind of go from there. All right, opponent's going to go for Sword of Fire and Ice, which we have no way to stop it. So we know it's on the battlefield. See what we run into? Run into Impulse. So yeah, I think at this point, we just go for a main phase Chemister's Insight. This is going to be 1, 2, 3. Because hopefully we're going to be able to hit a land off of this Chemister's Insight. There we go. All right, so Mystic Sanctuary. Let's go and have Mystic Sanctuary enter the battlefield, and then anything else pass the turn to our opponent. Now, we did run into Darkside Extortionist, so opponent is looking at 2 artifacts over there. You know, that's one of the good things about Darkside, especially in 1v1, is that, with 3 now, is even if we don't get this huge cash-in effect with in a deck like Galazeth, simply just getting down Darkside to kind of give you that extra mana for something like a pull from tomorrow, that is a very good feeling. So we can definitely in a good spot to get this going. So let's see what we draw into. Spire Bluff Canal. Let's have that come into play. And since our opponent is shields down, I really do like going for Galazeth. So let's go blue-red, and that's going to be 1/2, and that's still going to allow us to drop in Darkside Extortionist. Yeah, I like this a lot. So let's do that. So it's going to be Volatile, and that's going to be 3 artifacts, and that still keeps us online for Disallow and for Mana Drain. So let's get Darkside onto the battlefield. That's going to be 3 artifacts for us, and as soon as these enter the battlefield, we're going to be online for some counter magic. And that's one of the fun things about playing this deck, is that, you know, you can tap out for your commander, get down something like Darkside, and you're still online for your instant and sorcery. So, but anyway, so we did cover both commanders. Let's give a quick shout out to our sponsors, TCG Player. If you go to bit.ly/JoltMTG, that's going to apply my affiliate link. It's going to allow you to get some cards and help support the channel at the same time. Let's give a quick shout out to MTGOTraders. If you want to play Magic Online, or if you want to play Commander, they've got you covered. Let's give a quick shout out to inkgaming.com/Jolt. That's going to get you 10% off of your order. Yeah, we're okay with that. And last but not least, I started a Patreon, so if you'd like to directly support cool content like this, there's a link down in the description below. But if you're keeping score at home, it is Sad Robot, Sword of Fire and Ice time. So let's have some fun. All right, so we got Sad Robot swinging in for 4. That's going to drop us down to 26, and that will be a Sword of Fire and Ice trigger. Good thing we do have a 3/4 on the battlefield. If they want to ping Darkside Extortionist, so be it. We could disallow that, but I think at this point I'd rather see if our opponent's going to cast something a little bit more problematic for us, or if we can at least cash in a Mana Drain for some extra mana, because that'll be a wonderful pull from tomorrow. I mean, we're already sitting good on it next turn too for pull from tomorrow. So let's see what this spell's going to be. Etch Champion. So that's going to be 3. If we do end up going for the Mana Drain, I think I do like this. So let's go Mana Drain. Let's go. Make sure we don't sacrifice it. Let's go blue, and then tap down blue. So that's going to give us 3 extra mana. We can also jam an Impulse really quick, and that's going to allow us to go for a pull from tomorrow, which I really do like. So let's go to our end step. Let's go for Impulse. And one of the downsides, not downsides to this deck, is somebody did leave a comment last game, is that you can't sack and add at the same time. So that's something you want to keep in mind. All right, so we've got Past in Flames, which is definitely a good option. Ponder, Spell Swindle. I think I kind of like Spell Swindle. I mean, that kind of keeps us open for the next turn. So yeah, let's grab that. Anything else on the bottom? And then we're good to go. So let's see what we draw into for the turn. Hoping to hit a land. There we go. All right, so it's going to be 3 mana to our mana pool. Let's enter the battlefield with our land. We do not have anything to reveal, so it's going to enter the battlefield tapped. Now, with this 3 mana, we need to leave up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So yeah, so we can still end up going for a really nice pull from tomorrow. So let's go and go for that. Okay, so that's going to be a pull from tomorrow for 6, and we're also going to have Spell Swindle online, so that's going to be good. So let's go pull from tomorrow for 6. And we have to discard 1 card. So at this point, let's go ahead and... Because I do actually... Yeah, Togo is going to be a wonderful option for this. And I like Mizzix's Mastery, definitely for sure. And Seething Song, that's going to be good. So if we're going to end up going for Mizzix's Mastery, especially with Seething Song... Yeah, and I think we'll do that. So let's drop Seething Song into the graveyard, because we can always recast it with Mizzix's Mastery. So anything else, let's go and pass the turn over to our opponent. We do not, yes, we do. We do have no max hand size. Yes, we do. So we are online. Let's go ahead and push in with Galazeth. That way we can go and swing in for 3. That's going to knock them down to 25, and that'll be 3 total commander damage. So there we go. And then anything else, we're going to be leaving up Spell Swindle. I like it. We could end up going for Togo. But yeah, I like this. We've got Disallow, we've got Spell Swindle. We're definitely in a good position to cash in some treasure tokens, and that's really going to help us out with the, going for something like Culmination of Studies. If you haven't seen this card, this is one of the new cards from Strixhaven. Exile the top X cards of your library. For each land card exiled this way, we get a treasure token. For each blue, we draw a card, and for each red card, we deal 1 damage to each opponent. So you can see over the course of the game, we do have this deck set up as kind of like a little bit of a Is It Storm style deck, but also... Okay, so that's going to be Cranial Plating. Yeah, I think we're good with that, because we are looking at 4 artifacts. So yeah, we can do something with that. But there's also just sometimes to where, this is a Storm deck, but we can also just end up with this just value play, where we get all these treasure tokens on the battlefield, and then go for something like Culmination of Studies, and that's going to set up a wonderful Mizzix's Mastery, especially as we start churning through the game. And we've got a... We've got a good sad robot coming across. One of the things that we can start working towards is going to be getting down Togo, and we get those rocks. We can start throwing rocks at sad robot. I think that sounds like a pretty good plan. So we'll probably end up going for Togo next turn, especially with us having the land drop. Now we do have Mystical Tutor if we want to try to set up something with that, but I think at this point, because we couldn't end up trying to go for a Rift. Yeah, I think that's good. That'll be a really good kind of setback for our opponent. That will give them an extra land, but I kind of like going for this. So let's go Mystical Tutor. Let's grab Cyclonic Rift. Let's have that go on top of our library, and we can actually get some pretty good tokens going for next turn. So let's do this. Yeah, and I think I actually like getting Togo going. So let's get Togo onto the battlefield. That's going to be 1/2. Let's go for Cascade Bluffs. It's going to be technically an extra treasure token for us. And then let's go for Cyclonic Rift Overloaded. And actually, we can just do this during their upkeep. Yeah, I kind of like that. So let's go and push in with Galazeth. So we're going to swing in for a 3/4. That's going to be 6 total commander damage. Drop them down to 22. And then we can go for the Cyclonic Rift during their turn. Yeah, I like that a little bit better. So anything else past the turn? Yeah, sometimes with the Cyclonic Rift, I get hung up on doing it during our turn. But yeah, we can definitely set some stuff up with this, especially if they try to go for something during their main phase and deploy that out. So let's go to the beginning of combat, and that's whenever they deal damage. So let's wait for Sad Robot to swing in. Let's go Cyclonic Rift with Overload. And that still leaves us just enough mana to go for Disallow. So let's go Cyclonic Rift. That's going to send everything back to the hand. And what we can do in this situation is if they do end up going for Sad Robot, they're still going to get that extra lane drop. We'll probably let that end up going through. But that does allow us to go for Disallow on Sword of Feast and, not Feast and Famine, but Sword of Fire and Ice, which has definitely been a problem for us. So let's see how they decide to roll this turn out. Okay, that's going to be Reaper King. And yeah, I think we're actually okay with the Disallow on this. So it's going to be blue, but yeah, because if they start getting Changeling downs and start destroying our board state, that's not going to be good for us. So let's go for Disallow. And then next turn, we do have Stormkiln Artist, which we can actually go for that. And that's really going to open us up as far as getting a lot of treasure tokens on the battlefield. And I think I like that a lot. So let's go for Stormkiln, because that still keeps us open on getting those treasure tokens, which is almost kind of like a storm style effect, adding extra mana to our mana pool. So at this point right now, we just go and swing in for 5. That's going to knock them down to 16. And then we can figure out what we want to do next turn, especially with Mizzix's Mastery. We can set up something the following turn, I think. Yeah, let's do this. So let's just go and swing in first. That's going to be 5 coming across. Okay, so that knocks them down to 16. Yeah, I like this. So let's get Stormkiln down. And that's going to leave us with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's going to be 9 total mana. I think we still leave up Spell Swindle, because we can end up going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's going to be a Gilded Lotus, and that's still going to give us access to 7 total mana, which will be Spell Swindle. Yeah, let's do that. So let's go for Gilded Lotus. And that's going to be 3, and that's going to be 7 total mana. Yeah. So let's do this. Let's just go and pass the turn. We have Spell Swindle online, and then that'll set us up next turn for a really big turn. We're going to have more than enough mana for Mizzix's Mastery. We can even set up something like Culmination of Studies. Now, we do have one Storm card in here. We do have Empty the Warren. So if we can find Empty the Warrens, that might kind of help us out and build up some sort of board state. But as far as the actual building of the deck, we have all the pieces that makes a Storm deck, but we just kind of want to end up with this thriving board state. So we've got, what is it? We have Aetherflux Reservoir in here. We also do have Thousand Year Storm. We have stuff like Brass's Bounty. So you can imagine if we get a copy of Brass's Bounty, how many extra treasure tokens we get on the battlefield. We have Expansion and Explosion, Electro Dominance, and then also something like Culmination of Study. So I think we might either end up going for a really big culmination next turn, because that allows us to get a lot of good stuff to, getting those extra treasure tokens, just digging a little bit deeper into our library. And then with Mizzix's Mastery, we do have a good graveyard to kind of go for, but at least right now, we don't have any sort of win condition. We've got Seething Song, we've got Impulse, we have Chemist's Insight that's going to allow us to dig a little bit deeper. With Mystical Tutor, we can put something on top of our library and kind of go for that Storm card. And now that I'm thinking about it, we might end up going for that, because we can sequence it to where, all right, so it's going to be Duplicate. Yeah, let's go for this Spell Swindle. I like this. Okay, that's going to give us an extra treasure token, and look at that value right there. That's one of the other fun things about a deck like this is, oh my goodness, I totally forgot that Storm... All right, opponent's going to scoop it up on that one. I totally forgot that Stormkiln gets +1 for each artifact you control, so there we go. So next turn, we're going to be able to get rid of Duplicate with Spell Swindle. That's going to be 6 treasure tokens on the battlefield. That's going to make Stormkiln. That's going to be a 15-2 coming across, and that's going to be more than enough for lethal. And one of the other cool things... But yeah, that's one of the fun things about a deck like this is, we almost have 2 win conditions going into next turn. So we're going to have more than enough damage with Stormkiln, making it a 15-2 after the Spell Swindle resolves. And then even then, we've got something like Mizzix's Mastery with all these treasure tokens on the battlefield. We can definitely set up the Mizzix's Mastery to where we set up Mystical Tutor, we grab Empty the Warrens. That's going to be a ton of goblins on the battlefield. And then we can just get some extra value going for that. So, but anyways, if you enjoyed the video, hey, like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.